You want some water?
I'm just drinking my water and minding my business.
That's all we doing.
Imagine coming home to find a reality-shattering surprise waiting for you. Chrissy Lampkin, a woman who spent years building her life with rapper Jim Jones, found herself in a situation few could even imagine. She had invested over a decade into their relationship, sharing countless memories and hopes for a future together. Fans of the couple had seen the highs and lows, from their heartwarming moments to on-screen arguments. Through it all, Chrissy held onto the hope that one day they'd make things official, finally moving from longtime partners to husband and wife. But on this particular day, Chrissy returned home to a sight that would shatter everything she believed about her relationship. Right there at her door, she found divorce papers. The documents felt like a betrayal. She was not only heartbroken but blindsided, left to piece together what had gone wrong and how the love story she thought would last forever was ending in such a painful way. The stakes were high, and the discovery of those papers was more than just a legal formality. As she stood there, staring at those papers, Chrissy faced a harsh reality. This wasn't just an end to their relationship, it was the final blow in a long history of dashed hopes and unanswered questions. But let's rewind to where this all began. Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones' story started as many relationships do, two people drawn together by a mutual connection. Jim was already known in the music world. Chrissy, on the other hand, was an ambitious woman. From the beginning, they seemed to balance each other out. The couple quickly became known for their bond, appearing on VH1's Love Hip Hop New York, where fans got a front row seat to the ups and downs of their relationship. Over the years, they shared plenty of tender moments, but they were no strangers to conflict either. Despite the highs and lows, Chrissy remained hopeful that they would eventually build a future together, one that included marriage and family. They'd both been through so much, and even when things got rocky, Chrissy was willing to stand by Jim's side. One of the most memorable moments of their journey happened when Chrissy decided to take matters into her own hands and propose to Jim.
You all know me very well. We all know that I've tried several different ventures in my life. I tried the real estate, interior design, personal styling. Never quite fit. It's taken me a long time to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with my life. And I figured it out. I want to spend it with you.
This was no small gesture. In a world where men traditionally ask the question, Chrissy's proposal turned that expectation on its head. She wanted to make it clear that she was all in, that she wasn't just waiting around for Jim to make up his mind. For Chrissy, this was a public declaration that she wanted Jim to be her partner for life. The proposal took everyone by surprise, including Jim. While he accepted it, his initial hesitation to move forward with wedding plans became evident over time. Jim's hesitation wasn't just a simple fear of commitment, it revealed some issues in their relationship. He often expressed that he valued his independence, and at times it seemed like he was unsure if he could fully commit to the thought of marriage. Fans saw Jim struggle with the pressure of making such a big decision, and for Chrissy, this hesitation created an emotional burden. She wanted more than a long-term relationship, she wanted the security and recognition of a lifelong commitment. As time went on, this difference in expectations created a rift between them. Jim's reluctance to take the next step made Chrissy question if they wanted the same things. She had been open about her desire for marriage, while Jim seemed content with maintaining the status quo. This made it clear that their relationship would have to handle some rough waters before reaching any kind of stable ground. Adding to the pressure was Jim's mother, Mama Jones, who voiced her disapproval of Chrissy.
I know, and I'm learning to actually get in control of trying to control.
And you did put a wedge. And it was painful.
That was very, very, very unfair to you.
Yep.
And instead of me talking to you on it, I just made it worse.
Mama Jones didn't hide her opinions on Chrissy's intentions and was never afraid to speak her mind about the relationship. She was worried that Chrissy wasn't the right fit for her son and made it clear that she had her doubts. This created a complicated situation for Chrissy, who was already grappling with the uncertainty surrounding her future with Jim. Mama Jones's disapproval was more than just a mother being protective, it was a consistent reminder to Chrissy that she didn't have everyone's support. For Chrissy, dealing with this tension added another layer of stress to an already complex situation. She often felt caught in the middle, wanting to be accepted by Jim's family yet constantly feeling judged. Chrissy's attempts to build a relationship with Mama Jones were met with resistance, and despite her efforts, they never fully saw eye to eye. This disapproval wasn't just about Jim and Chrissy's relationship, it became a point of contention that fueled doubts and added weight to every decision Chrissy made about her future. With all eyes on them, Chrissy and Jim struggled to maintain their connection amid the strain of family disapproval. The love they shared was real, but the challenges were becoming harder to ignore. Between Jim's hesitance, the pressure from fans and family, and Chrissy's desire for stability, their relationship was beginning to show signs of strain. For Chrissy, every choice and every confrontation felt like a test of her strength and resolve, leaving her questioning whether they could ever find common ground. Then came the whispers that would rock Chrissy's world.
Is there still pressure for you and Chrissy to get officially married?
No. You married?
I'm not married.
Your mama married?
My mother wasn't married either.
All right, then. So that should answer your question. Why you worried about me getting married?
I know you was gonna come with it, Jim. I know you was gonna come with it, but as a female, I still had to ask the
You're talking to
question.
me about something that you haven't fulfilled or your mama hasn't fulfilled. So you should
Right,
be worried
but-
about what's going on in my house. You should try to figure out what's going on in yours
Okay, but as a fan watching the relationship on television, that is something that fans, we always kind of have that question.
As a fan, you fans need to turn around and see if your mama's married or if your father's married. That's what you fans need to do. And if that's not going on in your household, you fans shouldn't ask me any questions. You dig? I'm only letting people that has grown up in a household that's married, mother and father, and if you are in a marriage.
Just when Chrissy was going with the EPS and downs of her relationship with Jim, rumors began to spread about his alleged infidelity. This wasn't just some passing gossip, it was a storm of accusations and stories that painted Jim in a completely different light. The rumors hit Chrissy like a ton of bricks. She had dedicated so much of her life to this relationship, believing in Jim's commitment to her, despite his reservations about marriage. Now, she was forced to confront the possibility that he hadn't been as loyal as she thought. For Chrissy, trust had always been a cornerstone of their relationship. She believed that, despite their fights, they were ultimately solid. But with these allegations hanging over her head, she began to feel a sense of betrayal. The thought that Jim may have been with someone else didn't just hurt her emotionally, it made her question everything they had created. Every memory, every moment, every promise felt tainted by doubt. It was as though the foundation of her relationship was crumbling before her eyes, leaving her in anger, confusion, and sadness. Chrissy couldn't ignore these talks. Whether they were true or not, the existence of such allegations was enough to shake her confidence. She began to ask herself painful questions about Jim's commitment, wondering if he had been honest with her all these years. The weight of potential betrayal was overwhelming, and she found herself struggling with thoughts of what her future might look like if the man she loved couldn't stay faithful. But nothing prepared her for what she found next. If the infidelity hadn't been enough to devastate Chrissy, what she discovered next would be the final blow. After a long, tiring day, she returned home only to find a set of divorce papers waiting for her at her doorstep. It was a sight she never expected. Those papers represented a harsh reality that she wasn't prepared to face. Jim was ready to walk away. The shock of seeing those papers was unimaginable. For Chrissy, it was as if every unresolved issue, every doubt had finally come to a head in the worst way possible. Chrissy was left standing there, facing the reality that her years of dedication, her dreams of a future with Jim, had all led to this unexpected moment. The pain was overwhelming. She couldn't believe that after all they had been through, after all the compromises and sacrifices she had made, Jim would choose to end things in such an impersonal way. It was a message, loud and clear, that whatever they had once shared was over.
The fact that y'all expect me to believe that Jim Jones and Chrissy was together for 1,000 years, they break up, and now Jim Jones is married to Brooke Bailey, I can't. That's a stretch. That's a reach. That is just stupid. Why would the man that can't get married to the lady he's been with for 1,000 million years decide that they are broken up now, so he is going to just marry Brooke Bailey, who he probably only knew for like a day? I don't understand where this information is coming from, but y'all need to show proof. Picture proof, video proof, some type of proof. Because all these rumors with no proof is giving made up stories, imaginary tales, or some type of Where is the proof? How did y'all find out about this? I never saw them together in my life. Brooke Bailey and Jim Jones. Brooke Bailey and it don't even add up. The math not mathing.
Though her world was turned upside down, Chrissy chose a different path forward. In the wake of this devastating discovery, Chrissy could have easily been consumed by bitterness and heartbreak, but instead she made a powerful decision to focus on herself and begin a journey of self-love and growth. Rather than letting the pain define her, Chrissy saw this as an opportunity to reclaim her life on her terms. She chose to look forward to building a life centered on her own happiness and fulfillment. Chrissy was open about her journey, sharing her struggles with her fans. On social media, she posted messages of resilience and empowerment, reminding her followers that true strength comes from within. In one memorable post, she shared a quote that read, "The best way to predict your future is to create it." For Chrissy, this wasn't just an inspirational message, it was a declaration of her commitment to healing and finding peace outside of her past relationship. Her decision to focus on her mental health became a source of inspiration for her fans. Chrissy discussed the importance of prioritizing yourself, especially after experiencing betrayal and heartbreak. She started to surround herself with people who supported her, leaning on friends and family as she began to rebuild her life. As the days turned into weeks, Chrissy began to embrace new experiences, finding joy in the things she had once set aside for her relationship. She poured her energy into her passions, rediscovered old hobbies, and started to envision a future that was full of possibilities. Meanwhile, Jim was on a journey of his own. While Chrissy was focusing on healing and personal growth, Jim seemed to be taking a different path. After the breakup, his reaction was mostly silent, which only fueled more speculation. Jim didn't offer much in terms of public remorse or reflection. Instead, he appeared to be moving forward, possibly into a new chapter of his life. Sources started saying that he was involved with another woman, which added even more tension to this situation. Many people noticed his lack of transparency in the wake of such a public breakup. Some wondered if Jim was truly remorseful, while others felt he might be trying to move on from the relationship he had with Chrissy. "I feel like Jim just doesn't care anymore. He's moved on," one fan commented on social media. Another added, "Chrissy deserves someone who respects her, not someone who goes quiet and then shows up with someone new. The difference between Chrissy's journey and Jim's actions couldn't have been more apparent, but some fans still think that Jim might try to reach out to Chrissy, given the emotional weight of their years together. I don't know if Chrissy will ever take him back, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jim tries one, viewer wrote. But what do you guys think? Would they ever reconcile? Would Chrissy stay focused on herself, or would Jim's potential efforts